A dark shape stretches across the Arctic ice. A massive walrus, lying still under a pale sky. It's worth $15,000. But that number comes at a deadly cost. To claim it, Inuit hunters must face a world that kills without mercy, where one crack in the ice or one wrong step can mean the end. The air burns at 58 degrees below zero. The sun has vanished for 40 days. Here, survival is not a choice. It's a negotiation with nature itself. Is this a crime against the wild, or the last ancient ritual of mankind at the edge of the world? Welcome to Discover Legends. Today, you'll step into the Arctic frontier, a place where courage, hunger, and the frozen sea collide. If true survival stories move you, subscribe and stay aboard. Because this is more than a story, it's a real documentary, a window into the deadliest hunt on Earth. The Arctic morning begins in silence. Wooden boats, no longer than 20 feet, glide across a sheet of cracking ice. The wind cuts through layers of fur like knives, carrying the deep roar of waves colliding with frozen shores. Each creak of the hull sounds like a warning. Beneath the ice, the sea waits, black, cold, endless. At the front stands an old hunter. His face bears the lines of 50 winters. His hands, scarred and steady, grip the harpoon the way his father once did. In a world without supermarkets or farmland, this is how life is earned. In these waters, 5 minutes in the freezing sea is enough to stop the heart. Here, the ocean decides who lives and who is taken. To the Inuit, the walrus is the ocean's gift. Meat for strength, fat for warmth, tusks for trade. Without it, the village would vanish with the ice. But claiming that gift means risking everything. The shout breaks the wind, a sharp cry in the emptiness. The harpoon cuts through fog and strikes. The sea erupts. A creature weighing 2,000 pounds thrashes against the rope. Its hide is thick as armor, its tusks longer than a man's arm. One strike could shatter the boat. Blood sprays against the white ice. The hunters dig in, boots slipping, ropes screaming. Every movement is a fight against death itself. The air fills with the sound of cracking ice and human breath. The struggle lasts minutes, maybe hours. No one counts time here. In this world, fear freezes slower than flesh. And when the giant begins to tire, silence returns, broken only by the wind. The men wait, motionless, for that final breath, the moment when life, death, and survival meet on the same frozen sea. The walrus fights until the last moment. The ropes pull tight, every strand trembling under its weight. One wrong step, and a man could vanish beneath the ice, gone in seconds to water colder than death itself. Then slowly, the struggle fades. The sea quiets. The creature lies still against the ice, its breath turning to mist before disappearing into the wind. No one celebrates. There is no shouting, no joy, only the sound of breathing and the weight of silence. To outsiders, it may seem cruel, but for the Inuit, this is survival, an ancient exchange between man and the sea. Every hunt ends with gratitude. Every piece of the animal will be used. Meat for food, fat for heat, skin for tools, tusks for trade. Nothing is wasted, nothing taken for granted. As the hunters bow their heads, the ocean watches in silence. The fight is over, but the promise remains. Respect for what was given, and the understanding that survival always comes at a cost. The hunt is over, but survival continues. The hunters move quickly before the cold freezes the meat. Knives cut through skin nearly 2 inches thick. The sound is heavy and real, metal against flesh, bone against steel. Beneath the hide lies thick white fat, the only source of heat and light for the long Arctic night. Men lift slabs of meat, each close to 100 pounds, and drag them across the ice. Women slice fat into blocks, melting it down for oil. The smoke smells sharp and greasy, but it means warmth. Children stand nearby, watching in silence. This is how they learn, not from books, but from the sea and the cold. Nothing is wasted. The meat is food, the fat becomes fuel, the skin is turned into rope and tools. Even the tusks are saved, traded for supplies when the ice breaks in spring. When the work ends, the hunters stand quietly. The ice is marked with blood, the tusks set upright in the snow, not as trophies, but as a sign of thanks. For the Inuit, the walrus is more than food. It is a part of life itself. Every piece of the animal serves a purpose. The meat feeds families through the winter. The fat burns in stone lamps, giving light when the sun disappears for 40 days. The hide becomes rope and boat covering. The bones are carved into tools and weapons. Nothing is left behind. After each hunt, the village gathers. The old hunters speak softly, retelling stories of the sea, stories of balance, gratitude, and respect. The children listen, learning that survival here is not conquest but cooperation. The walrus, they say, carries the spirit of the ocean. To take its life is to accept a debt to the sea. To waste it would be to break that bond. In the Arctic, this is not just hunting. It is a conversation between humans and nature, a dialogue written in ice, blood, and memory. The Arctic is melting faster than science once believed, nearly twice the predicted rate. As the ice disappears, the resting grounds of the walrus vanish with it. Thousands now crowd onto shrinking beaches, fighting for space and safety. For conservation groups, this is a sign of collapse. They call for hunting bans, warning that one day soon, the walrus may exist only in photographs and memory. But the Inuit see a different truth. We don't hunt for wealth, one elder says. We hunt to live. For them, stopping the hunt means losing more than food. It means losing identity, tradition, and balance. The question remains, who decides what survival means? Can the world condemn those who live from the sea, while its own factories melt the very ice they depend on? Between preservation and existence, the line grows thinner each year, like the ice beneath their feet. The sun sinks behind drifting sheets of ice. Hunters pull the last cuts of meat toward the village. Smoke from oil lamps burning walrus fat drifts into the pale sky, carrying the smell of survival. Children stand by the shore, watching wooden boats settle in the fog. Nearby, a pair of ivory tusks stand upright in the snow, silent markers of the hunt's end. Here, life continues on the edge of extinction. Between survival and disappearance, the line is thin as ice. Subscribe to Discover Legends and join us on the next journey across the world's most unforgiving seas. Witness real hunts, true stories, and lives shaped by the ocean's power. If you're ready to venture once more into the unknown, comment yes. The hunt continues.